Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our channel, and I hope you're doing well. Assalamu alaikum, habari, muri mutieyu. My name is Razzielle, and today I brought you another story. If you're doing anything, this is the time to stop. If you're standing, you need to sit down. Whatever you're doing, just stop it and listen. I'm going to tell you about this gripping, amazing story. This story is going to blow your mind. It's going to mesmerize you. It's going to inspire you. It's going to illuminate you. This story is called A Glass Full of Milk Paid in Full. A glass of milk paid in full. Hang on a minute. Before we go into the story, please like, subscribe, and share this video for more stories and motivational speeches. Please share so that these stories can reach to as many people as they can possibly can, so that everyone has a chance to be inspired and motivated. Okay, let's go. The year was 1963. In this village, there was this boy who sold goods from door to door to pay his way through school. One day as he was selling, he realized that he didn't have enough money. He only had a bit of change left. Yet he was hungry. As he was passing the next house, he decided he was going to ask for a meal. He knocked, and a lovely young woman opened the door. However, he lost his nerve. He suddenly panicked and was too afraid to ask. Instead of a meal, he asked for a drink of water. The lovely young woman thought rather the boy looked hungry, so instead of water, she brought him a large glass of milk. The boy drank the milk real slowly, real slow, and then asked the young woman, "How much do I owe you?" The young woman replied, "You don't owe me anything. Mother has taught us never to accept pay for kindness." The poor boy said, "I then thank you from the bottom of my heart." As Howard Kelly, that's the boy, left that house, he felt stronger, more confident, and his faith in God and humanity was restored. He now had hope, because at this point in his life, he was ready to quit. He was ready to give it all up. Now, years later, the young woman became critically ill. Doctors couldn't find what was wrong with her. They were baffled and puzzled to what this illness was and what was causing it. It was rare. They had never seen it before. No one knew. They decided to send her to the cities where the big hospitals were. This was now a case for specialists. They had to study this rare disease to see what was causing it, or whether there was actually any cure for it. You won't believe who was one of the specialists. Dr. Howard Kelly. Dr. Howard Kelly was the consultant, and when he heard the name of the town where the patient came from, a strange light filled his eyes. Gleaming, he immediately rose up, dressed up in his doctor's gown, and rushed down the halls of the hospital to the woman's room. He wanted to see her. Once he opened the door, he recognized her at once. He went back to the consultation room, determined to do his very best to save the woman's life. He studied the ins and the outs of the case, giving it extra special attention. It was a long process, it was a long struggle, but after a long time, the battle was won. The treatment was successful, and it was time for the woman to be discharged. Dr. Kelly had requested the hospital to pass the final bill for him for approval before it was sent to the woman. And when he got it, he looked at it, then wrote something on the edge. He then sent the bill to the woman's room. On receiving the bill, the woman feared to open it. She worried that it would take the rest of her life to pay it. Loaded with anxiety, she finally looked. Something caught her eye. Something caught her attention on the side of the bill. She began to read the following words: "Paid in full with 1 glass of milk. Signed, Dr. Howard Kelly." So what's the moral of this story? The moral is that sometimes the smallest act of kindness is repaid in extraordinary ways. This was a small act of giving, but it changed both the boy's life and the woman's life. The kindness of the woman filled the poor boy with so much hope that he became a doctor. But in the same way, it came back to her in much, much fold. It shows that the good that we do for others always comes back to us. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. In life, what goes around comes around. What you put out, you get out. And what you put out into the universe, whether good or bad, will always come back to you. As we help others, we also receive a blessing. Let us be reminded that a tiny act of kindness can have a huge impact on somebody else. This one small act of kindness was repaid decades later in a mega way. Let us remember that.